Hello, I'm Czardus, and let's play City Skylines. Today we are going to go through the 5 best maps of the Steam Workshop from the month of February 2023. And first up, we have Sable Island by Random 5. Now this one is a vanilla map. It is a tropical island, as you can see, and there's not really a lot to it, but it is very simple. It gets right to it gives you a good building spot, and I don't feel like we have enough maps like it on the workshop. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the traits from this map. So on this one, we have a start square over in here with a simple road coming in, which is hidden in here. There's a highway going all the way through underneath, and then of course it goes off somewhere, probably. And you can see that it goes down in there. Let's find a better view here. Oh no, it just goes and turns around there. It only goes off in that direction. Interesting. There is a ship path over here and a ship path on the other side, I believe. Yep. So you can do your cargo pretty much anywhere you want. But yeah, the start square here is very simple. It might be a little bit challenging because half of the start square is in the water, but you can easily go in and unlock tiles all over the place. Like, once you've unlocked things, you should be able to expand probably out in this direction faster, because you can unlock here and then you can unlock here, and that would give you a lot of space, and then maybe this one too. So those 4 would be the first ones I would do. But anyway, you can come in. The one thing I will say about this map is, looking at the terrain, it's very bumpy. And what we usually see in tropical maps is like much flatter, and this is probably a little bit more realistic, but especially over in here, it gets a little bit more challenging for city building. So keep that in mind. There is a treehouse here, and there is only one tree on the entire island right here, and the map maker explains why that is in the description. I'll let you check that out. Now let's go ahead and check on natural resources. We have oil over here. We have a little bit of no ore. It's just a blue tint from rendering probably, but yeah, a tiny bit of oil. But again, no forest, no fertile land has been painted on here either. So you don't have very many resources to work with, but you do have a nice little area to build. And it would be, I think, a pretty fun one to do a simple and quick build on. So that is this one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And next on the list, we have Detroit map Mass Transit by Mr. Pixelcat. I believe I got that all right. But anyway, this map, as you can guess, is based on the Detroit, Michigan in the United States area. And it is very well done, and it looks great. It feels like it would be a great one to build a city on, and generally it is a fun map. But yeah, you can see some of the features here. It's got the nice wide river going through there, and then on one side of the river, of course, is Canada, and the other side is Michigan. But we can go ahead and we'll jump in here and look at some more of the actual details. So what we've got here is we have lots of really great features in here. You've got the Detroit Bridge, which is the only custom asset needed for the map, and it is a very nice bridge here, and it has a little bit of a train track underneath to give it that little bit of girder style in there, but it is a beautiful bridge. And then of course you've got some weird loops in here, but those are kind of similar to what you actually have in real life. So even though it looks like this, I think, well, I mean, it is still City Skylines, so it could use maybe a little bit of polishing, but other than that, it looks great. You've got rail coming in here. You've got a start square right here, so you have buildable area. You've got a nice highway coming into your start square. You've got rail nearby. You have plenty of space to expand. Let's take a look at terrain here. terrain is very flat in your start square. One thing to note is that if you start in here, or like if you're building with the tiles, then you're really going to be limited in that beginning, because you can really only build over here. It's going to be cost prohibitive to build a bridge in that beginning stage of the game, and so you don't have a ton of space. It's going to be a challenge to get moving and get that next tile unlocked, but you can do it. The thing is that the tiles, actually I have anarchy on, so you can't really see what population they need, but given how much terrain is buildable on here, those milestones are going to be pretty high, because remember, those are based on population. The milestones are based on the buildable area in the map, so that is one thing to keep in mind. Now, resources, you can see a lot of them have been painted on. You have some oil in here, you have a little bit of ore, you've got fertile land, and of course you've got the trees in there. It does make it look so visually stunning, and I like that. Here you've got your island here. I don't recall off the top of my head what this is called, what island this is, but it is a main feature of the Detroit area. And then of course, let's take a look at transportation. You have a shipping route coming right through here, which is a major shipping route on the Great Lakes. And then you've got air going through, which is really good. And like I said, you've got rail and you've got roads. Of course, you've got a lot of external connections on this map. So you're going to have a lot of through traffic going on, but that is fine. I mean, as long as you're building nice and you can avoid having them go through your downtown area, which this will allow, because your downtown area, I presume, will be in here, and that this highway is far enough away that you're probably not going to get a ton of traffic that is going through your downtown on these highways, so that is good. But anyway, yeah, that's this one. Let's move on to the next one. And next on the list, we have La Spezia by Funkenstein, and let's take a look at this one. This is a great one. It's another one that is built on real terrain. This one from, let's see, it is the La Spezia region in northern Italy, including the dramatic Cinque Terre coastline. I'm totally butchering the pronunciation, so I'm gonna stop here. It's a place in Italy. It is really awesome. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the features here. You can see that it has a very nice harbor area. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look. So your start square here has everything you need. You've got rail coming in here and then looping right down to the harbor. You have your highway coming in and going right to a roundabout, so you can come off of that and build very easily. Now the only problem here is you can see there is through traffic going right through those roads, so that will cause you a challenge to deal with, as you will want to make sure that not too much traffic is going through your city center. But there are a lot of roads coming through here that you can work with as well. Now let's take a moment. I'm going to unlock 81 tiles. Okay, and the reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to show you one of the features here that is one of the best parts of the map. Over here, we've got a winding road, and I always love switchback roads. I've built several in my own series, but it's always so fun to see them. And I can just imagine the fun it would be to drive down this road. Just like starting up here, having that beautiful view as you make your way down the hill. Very nice work there. Now then, another cool feature from this is over here, we've got a road that is under construction, and this is a nice little detail feature added. It just really makes it feel fun and different. And it sometimes people make things like this and they make them just like you will want to eventually add on, but this one I feel like isn't really meant to be functional. This road just ends there. It's all just meant to be a good look of that. And you can see that this road, so like this one, is being added on and coming out this way, and so that is really cool to see. Now let's take a look at a few of the features here. We've got the terrain is very flat in your buildable area in this little valley, where like the coastline, and then of course you've got beautiful hill work and mountains on the outside of that you can have as your backdrop as your city falls likely in here. Then resources, we have oil in the water and a little bit along the coast. You've got some fertile land near where your city will be built, and then you've got ore up in the mountains. So this one is very realistically done, and I like that. Then transportation, you have ship lines coming right in to your harbor, and of course you've got the rail coming in there, and then you've got your airline paths as well. So this one is very much ready to go and very well done and very exciting to see. So I look forward to seeing what you guys build on here. Let's move on to the next map. I am so excited to partner with Apex Gaming PCs to bring you a custom line of gaming PCs named after some of my most popular series. I've worked with their team to put together an amazing setup for playing games like Skylines. There's a link to see the full line in both the description below and the pinned comment. Oh, and be sure to use the discount code Czardus to receive up to $250 off your purchase. And next on the list, we have Passau by Uncle Ron. There we go. So this one is a really great map, and it has a European theme that it recommends, the Euro 4K map theme, which I have used in the past, but for some reason it's not downloading to this at this time, which hopefully does not mean that I'm entering another issue of mod and Steam Workshop issues. But anyway, what we have here is a really good one, another one based on real terrain. This is a 1:1 scale map of the city of Passau in Lower Bavaria, Germany. And so it is known as the City of Three Rivers. So the River Danube is joined by the Inn from the south and the Alps from the north. So this one is a really beautiful map. And again, the terrain is just great. There are some features from the map maker that I want to compliment, especially the river design and river making here. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at some of the features of the map. So the first thing is your start square. You're right here where the three rivers meet. So of course you're going to build your city at the heart of the three rivers, and you've got rail coming in, goes right through. It is a tunnel, so this rail comes around, turns around, and goes through there. You've got power coming over here from, I think this is a power generator here, and then you've got your road coming in here, which will not have any through traffic on it, so that is good as well. So you've got a nice buildable area that you could work with here. Again, this one might be another challenging one, but you've got roads on both sides, so you can build up from here if you need extra space for building. Then you have a lot of space going out of there that you can add on to. Let's take a look at terrain. It is, it's not flat, but it is relatively workable. You've got rolling hills all through here, and I think that can help you have a bit of a challenge, especially if you are doing realistic building based on the terrain. Looking at the resources, we have lots of fertile land out here, and over in here you've got ore through the river, which I think is really just to get it painted to be a good texture. And then I think you've got oil, hidden in these trees over here. So, and a few other places, in fact, pretty much everywhere underneath the trees, you've got oil hidden, which is a good way to do it. So you have all the resources you need. Now, a couple of cool features. Of course, you've got this dam over here, which is a cool little thing to have here. And then it has a walking path, so it's not actually a road that goes across that. But then also, I have to compliment Uncle Ron for this river. This one gets really tiny, especially through here. And if you've never made a map, then you don't know, but this sort of work with water is very challenging to get it to be flowing well and have a good look to it. And it's just really nice work there. Now, one thing that you are going to have a little bit of a challenge to is right here. This highway coming through has a very sharp turn, and with all the traffic coming through this way, you are getting a major backup already. And of course, that is just off of your start squares, so you'll be able to address that pretty quickly, but it is something to keep in mind there. But overall, this is a really fun map to look at, and another one that would be fun to build on. So let's move on to the last map. And the number one map of the month this time is called Kings Bay by I'm Hihuli. Hopefully I said that right, but this is a beautiful map. It is with a custom theme MIPS, so you have to make sure that you're using the theme mixer mod, and then also you have the mod, the themes that go into that, and then you can load up your theme MIPS if you want to have the same look as what the creator designed here. If you don't, then you can just use the generic template theme that is recommended. But otherwise, I mean, you can always use whatever theme you want, really, when you're building a map. But if you want to have the look, and you'll see why the theme MIPS is important in a moment when we jump in. But I want to give the full cinematic tour of this map really quick, because it's a very pretty map, and it's fun to look at. Of course, the trees in here are very well done. You know, there's a nice variety in here, and I think it's really great. And let's go ahead and see a little bit more here as we are coming up here. You can see a little bit of the roads there too, and we are actually, you know what, there's a little bit of a road issue that is interesting there. We'll take a look at that in a moment, but let's go ahead and jump in here. We're coming down, and I think we are probably coming into near the start square. But speaking of the start square, that is right here. So you have a nice buildable area here. You've got a nice interchange coming in and another one out here, so that gives you access to many different areas. Then you have a lot of buildable space coming off of that, so if you're using the tiles, then you can have a lot of fun with your building space there. Now, a couple of things. One, I noticed this road doesn't go through. It looks like another little construction site, so maybe that's what's happening here. Hopefully I'm not missing anything, but that could be as well. Now here, I think this is actually a little bit unrealistic in my opinion. I think the highway would more likely have come along this way, and then the looping could still have been done on this side for this interchange, but I think that is a very sharp curve, and if you were driving on this road and coming around here, of course now the camera is not going to move very fast, but when you're down here, that is a sharp turn, and I can imagine that there'd be a lot of accidents here. But anyway, other than that, this map is stunning. Now over here you have some nice breakwaters, which were very well done with the vanilla rocks in here. By the way, this is a vanilla map other than the map theme MIPS, and you have the ships can come through here, a nicely done bridge here with a nice long span, so the ships have plenty of space to get in there. And then the other thing is that your ship route can go anywhere in this natural harbor, so you have plenty of space that you can do your shipping in there. Your start square does have rail nearby right there, and of course, like I said, different roads going off in different directions. You do have some through traffic in here, but having this here gives a lot of the through traffic going off in that direction as well, so that is nice. Now the terrain, let's take a look at the terrain. So near the start square, like I said, it's very flat in here, and that gives you plenty of building space. And then there's some mountains, and the key with the mountains, if you are using the map theme MIPS, you can see we've got snow-capped mountains, which I always love to see. I have those in my Wakashan Bay series, and it's a lot of fun to build that way. Resources, let's take a look at that. We have a lot of fertile land. We have ore pretty much underneath the highways and the roads, but also in a few different areas as well. I think the ore was used to paint. The oil is the snow texture, so you probably won't have much oil anywhere else, but you can get around that by importing your oil, or I guess putting oil wells up in the mountains if you really want to. But in general, this is a very stunning map and definitely worthy of the #1 spot for the month. So thanks to everybody for watching this month. Be sure to click on the video on the screen now. It is a list of more maps that you will enjoy, and I will catch you next time. Take care.